run the race. Squirrel on my tail. Let's keep Q-Man close. Inside. No, no. Oh, shit. Oh, he's playing. Jesus. Calm down, Sparrow.
Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Marcel Irnie, your host of Irnieracing, World's Best Motorcycles. This is Merlin, my 2016 S1000, chilling next to Bumblebee in Q-Man's garage. So, typical problem in a garage is like, we need to get the bikes out of the way. We got side-by-sides everywhere. So, let me just get Merlin out of the way so we can work on the project here. One way to do it, you know, and then forward and back.
Hoping it doesn't come off the stand.
Yeah, falling over. Alright, get the stand back on. So this is your typical pitbull stand. You know, it does its job really well at the track, but not necessarily like these ones from Blair at SVRACINGPARTS.
Where you can maneuver it so easily. Spin it around.
Yeah, let me just park this right next to Merlin. And the nice thing is it is stable enough that you can get on the moto and do whatever you want, even if no front brake. So, perfect example of what we're doing today, guys, is we're going to be assembling one of these stands from SVRACINGPARTS. And Q-Man has a couple of them. Here's one for another moto, right? Take a look at an assembled beast here.
So what we've got here is the side stand built and designed by SVRACINGPARTS. And what it does is essentially it goes into your frame in two different locations to keep your bike solid. So this would be in the raised position as it sits right now. So you pull this little pin, which releases it, which allows you to bring the bike down to the ground. Have your bike in front of you here, and then you would slide it into the two pins here. There's a collar that you add to the motorcycle on the frame to secure this top pin. This lower point is already on the motorcycle. And you'd in up position, and then you would literally just push down and click, and that'll get the bike to rise like Bumblebee is sitting right now off the ground, so that you have access to both the front and rear wheels at all times.
Yeah, so no more front and rear stand, and now you have one stand fits all.
Yeah, and then with the maneuverability of the bike, how easy it is to move it around the shop, spin it around, you know, wherever you want to take it, makes it pretty easy to maneuver.
So here we have the pin installed on Project Mystique.
Yeah, so that would be the collar to accept the pin.
Okay.
And then you got the lower, which was always, that's part of the lower part of the swing arm mount, and that's factory. That's how it came from the factory. The only part that you add is this little collar right here, just to add a little extra support for carrying the weight. So then on the 2011 BMW, it actually has a little inset collar, not an external collar. So this was the Gen 1 design from SVRACING, and I've had this stand now for 6 years with no issues, no problems. It's worked. I've taken it to the track back and forth, and I use this full time at the track and never had any flaws. You can see the difference between this one doesn't have a little assisted gas shock, where that one has an assisted gas shock, the new style one. Right back here. Just to give a little bit more assist when you're lowering the bike.
Okay, yeah, so right. Just a little easier on the muscles.
Lowering, rather than this here just, you know, just heavy down, right? You might get hit in the face with this if you weren't paying attention. So, basically as easy as it works.
All right, well, let's continue with disassembly or assembly
Assembly of the new stand.
for Merlin here.
Yeah.
So here is the box, freshly opened. And there's the gas shock that Q-Man was talking about. And SV Racing Parts, guys, go find them.
So just assembling the stand. Now you want to make note that there's an R, a little R sticker on there, and that's to match the R on the leg that goes into that particular slot, because it's a different length bar than the rest. So now we've got the legs all laid out. You want to make note again with the R that goes with the R. And then you've got two locking legs. So you got this locking one here. You got the short locking leg, which obviously goes in this side. That's pretty straightforward to understand that one. Then the other locking leg goes directly beside it. And then the non-locking wheel goes out there. So that's basically your basic layout of the stand. And then you just bolt it together. On the short leg, it doesn't have a bolt-through bolt. It has these shorter Allen head bolts, which I recommend putting a little bit of Loctite on these particular bolts because they don't have lock nuts like the other ones do. And you just want to make sure that those pieces stay threaded in there. Final torque down on the bolts. Make sure they're all good. These come with lock washers lock nuts. So you don't have to worry about those backing out. And that's the stand. That's final assembly on the stand. Super quick and easy. No problem. The hardest part now is actually getting the alignment of the pin.
That's right, getting the motorcycle's height correct when you lift it up.
Which is not going to be too bad. So we're just going to pull this bolt right out of here, which is Marcel Irnie's beautiful titanium bolt. So now he's going to have to sacrifice a little bit of weight to work with the new mount. So this one comes with a longer Allen head bolt to secure this here into place. So again, I'm going to use a little bit of blue Loctite on that and lock that one into place. And just insert fit this piece so that it's nice and easily removable. That's the key. Is to make this really smooth.
Not too tight,
not too tight,
stretching it.
Yeah, and then you just tighten those two mounts. I'll grab the 2 wrenches for that. All right, yeah, then you just want to secure this
in position.
Secure it in position here. Get the wrenches on the right side. All right, so just pull this big center nut out. And for this particular model, we're actually going to use the center upper bolt. Okay, so that basically goes in here. Well, I was not quite fully prepared. I forgot to loosen this off here. You just got to loosen this upper nut. This is the guide that gives you the pivot to make sure your front wheel and your back wheel come up at the same time. We're just going to use this particular top bolt here for this model, for the BMWs. It could go in any four depending on your particular model of bike. So you just have to kind of sort of look at it, figure out what works best. This particular bike has a forward, this part is more forward than the lower. The upper is more forward than the lower, which is very convenient. Bikes that have the upper one to the back are extremely difficult to get the bikes to align. But when they're forward like this, there's more weight forward to pull that upper wheel off the ground. Okay, so once you've got this mounted to here and secured, you know, not tight, just finger tight, you just want to align it with the bar in the upper position. So this is the downward position where the bar is all the way up. And you just want to find the point where the bike lines up with the pivot point. So this is where it takes a little bit of finessing. And tighten that up there. Once you've got everything close, just put that in there and try to make an adjustment to see if the front tire is lifting up the ground not enough. This one's not quite enough, so we're gonna have to make a little bit of adjustment. We got the stand, done all the final adjustments. You can see that the front tire is plenty high enough off the ground to put a tire warmer, change the tire, whatever you need to do. The back tire is plenty high off the ground. The bike is sitting solid. It's extremely easy to move now.
That's right, I don't have to spin around the camera.
You can see, no spinning around the camera.
Spin the bike.
The bike easily moves, you know, one-handed, no problem. The biggest challenge to setting up these stands is getting the front tire to lift off the ground. Obviously the bike's a lot heavier on the front than in the rear due to the motor, suspension, electronics, all that stuff, mostly at the front of the bike. So that's where these micro adjustments on these stands can be challenging at times to get the right amount of adjustment. Getting the bracket itself into place is not that big a deal, but it's this particular rod right here that's the challenge to get the right height to pick the bike up at the front, is this particular rod right here. Fiddling with that, playing with that, that's what's going to take all the time of putting the stand together. The rest of it is super straightforward, super easy to go, but every bike has slightly different weight distribution, the way the mounts are, which makes it, some bikes easier than others, some bikes can be challenging.
Do you want to explain what micro adjustments you were making and what direction for trying to achieve what goal to get balance?
Let's just put the bike back down on a rear stand so it doesn't fall over for now. Let's just pull the stand out like so. It takes a little bit of getting used to if you're switching from a side stand to a rear stand to get this done. All right, what I'm talking about on the micro adjustments on this particular stand is this bar right here is what adjusts the tilt on this bracket.
Yeah, pretty much. You're like right now you're at like 7 degrees.
Yeah, whatever the degree is. Now every bike is going to be, every different manufacturer bike is going to be a little bit different due to where the mounts, these mounts are and where you want to go. Some bikes you might have to use this center bolt farther back or more forward, or the lower bolt, depending on what height. The most important with this bolt is to be able to get a full all the way down and all the way up to make that work. Okay, so that's what this center bolt basically adjusts. So when you have the stand all the way up, you want to have these things here lining up, the top pin and the lower pin.
Yeah, essentially when the arm is straight up and down.
So that you get the most amount of lift.
Yeah.
Right? Then the pivot to bring the front end up is this particular one right here. So on the top, it's threaded. On the bottom, it slides. So what that allows you to do is lock the top end into place and pull it forward using this lower nut, if this was backed off, to draw this more this way, which would give you more lift on the front of the bike.
Yeah, so you're going to get positive or negative then degrees
bring it more straight up and down to get more lift. And it's a fine balance between having the angle that you need and keeping the stand flat on the ground.
Yeah, it's not just like, let's just adjust this.
Yeah, it's not like you can just adjust it because you have to loosen this lower nut, this middle nut as well to make it pivot on here. If this middle nut is tight, it won't pivot.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. So this nut locks it into place once you found that pivot point. So that's what is all the challenge in these stands. And I've done a couple different ones. The BMW is much easier of a bike for sure to do these. Maybe because this is my third stand doing on the BMW now.
Well, let's show him, put it back on the bike, lift her up, and you can probably just lift it right off the pit bull.
You can't.
Or no, you have to lock her in.
You change the angle now with the pit bull. So
yeah,
the pit bull would have to come down. And the way I like to do it is I like to just kind of lean the bike towards me a little bit. I like to get the top pin lined up first. See how I have the bike leaning towards me? I get the top pin lined up because I can see that. Then I just slide the lower pin in as I lift the bike and kind of use my foot at the bottom. And then an easy lift like that. And that's it.
All right, time to do maintenance on the rest of the bike.
There you go, maintenance time.
It's kind of nice because it's, you have your own lift, and as long as you're not working on your sprocket area, then it's pretty much not really in the way.
No, I mean, you can change the front sprocket. I do it on mine.
Yeah, how much room?
It's tight.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't
But it's
bother.
doable.
But like I'm saying, you're always gonna have lots of options. Okay, well, thank you, Q-Man,
All right.
for this tutorial, and thank you, SV Racing Parts. Excellent customer service. I did look up the price, guys. There you go, $264 on the website.
I would say US dollars.
Probably. If you're Canadian, I'm sure I'll give you a sweet deal.
Yeah.
All right, now we got 3 bikes floating around the garage once you get Project Mystique fixed up from your latest little
high side in the rain. Huh?
Oh, yeah. So sad.
So sad.
All that nice paint.
All my parts are here, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, pit crew, let's get the wheels off, bodywork off, oil change, grips changed.
Ready for rider training this weekend.
Yeah, that's right, guys. I'm off to Washington with Moto Vixens. I got a student on Sunday. Monday is empty, but this video will live on forever, so none of that matters. My name is Marcel Irnie. This is Q-Man. We are on Q-Man's farm, and thanks for watching. Cheers. Okay, so my first try with the new stand. So first thing, you push on the bar, you can pull the pin, and then as you release the pin, you grab the handlebars, and boom, and then just give it a little, lean it over, wiggle it out, spin it around, get on your bike, rip down the track, rah, rah, rah. All right, so we're coming back into the pit. Back your bike up in the pit, swing it back over, lean the bike slightly, and it's in, and that's pretty quick. Bam! And then you're like, wheel change. It's just amazing how much you can swing it around, huh? As long as your floor is decent.
And clean.
Yeah. Let's try it one more time. You watch that side. Move over, grab the stand. All right, bike in, bike out.
There, you're off to the races and back.
Back in the pit. Holy crap, man, it's quick.
It's quick, and you're not relying on anybody else to misalign your rear stand for you.
Yeah, you know, that's...
not that you've never had that happen before.
Plus, I end up doing that myself anyways, but now I have to go over and do the front. So tire warmer wise, you can do what you want to do. You're loose to get your front end up, you know, you can make adjustments to your steering stand, whatever, loosen up the bars. Very cool. I just got to figure out how I fit it in the trailer now.
That is the one challenge with these side stands, is how to fit them in the trailer.
Yeah, so pretty much you gotta hide the feet so you don't trip on them and have this just somewhere shove into something.
Or you pull the feet off.
Yeah, so you got a few bolts for one bolt, 2 bolts for each foot.
Well, I would just pull the two long legs off that go underneath the bike. I would leave the other 2 attached. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, pull these back 2 off.
Yeah, pull the back 2 off.
So then it stays into like the same shape.
Yeah.
All right, one more time, guys, just for my own practice sake. Lean it over a little bit. Okay. Grab the stand. Lean the bike slightly to find the pivot hole. Lean it into it, and it snaps. Cool. Well, SV Racing, guys.
Check them out online.
Okay, at the ridge. Should have enough fuel. All right.
Look up the hill. Use your eyes. Are you gonna pass these guys or what? Look at this, 3 wide. I love those winglets on that Ducati. You should be able to get around these guys and get some free laps. I got the rear cam on you now. Set your body up, your body. Now you're moving your butt too late. You want to always be set up before you brake.
Bam. All right. Some good footage, huh? Track day footage. Anyways, guys, my name is Marcel Irnie.